Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608. Today I am playing, where is it? Plasma. And you might notice I am in a different world. And yes I am. Because I decided to work on the drone, and I built up a rover, but we'll get there in a little bit. And the docking docking stations, but the control stations I have for them. And a little different on the landing pod. So, what I have done is I started to go through and try to rework everything, but it was just such a horrible mess. I said, you know what? It's going to be easier just to start from scratch. So, I rebuilt, this is a new drone, built from scratch. This is the same rover, just that I did better with it. And this is now the docking station. There's a docking thing here, but this is the control. I have 3 GPS things, a joypad, gamepad controller, the regular controller, then a whole bunch of transceivers. Then over here, when you sit down, you notice there's a GPS tracking for the pod, the drone, and the rover. I can tell it to smoke. Ooh. I can tell it not to smoke anymore. So I don't have to use a gamepad button. I have our main screen with a switch that switches between the rover and the drone. So, if I have rover, let me grab my controller. I have all my rover controls. I can go forward and back and all that jazz. And notice the drone is not moving. Now I can swap to the drone. And I can control it without bothering the rover. Cool, huh? And the landing camera's over here, by the way, so I'll just need to actually turn my head before I land. But if I swap over to the rover, and transmitters are loud. Well, if I swap over to the rover, I get data. I get its heading and a light level and whatever else I want to put onto it. Alright, so let's take a look at our new thing. Oh wow, look at all this nonsense. Alright, first of all, I have a toggle. Oh, hold on. There we go. I have a toggle. My phone just went off. I had to stop it. And it goes to either frequency drone or frequency rover. And there I have 2 arrays. They give the frequencies for the drone or the rover. So when, these are labels, so it lights up drone or rover. That's drone, that's rover. And these toggles go to this array number decomposer, which breaks down the elements and sends them to transceiver 1, 2, and 3 appropriately. So you see it's 24, 25, and 26, that's the rover. But if I switch it over to drone, it is 20, 21, and 22. Awesome, huh? And so I've reset it, so TR1, transceiver 1, that receives the stick. Left and right X and Y axes on the stick. And that's all that does. That goes to frequency. Then I have left and right trigger. They go to transceiver 3 on 1 and 2. I think I have the A button, or the bottom button is going to channel 3 on transceiver 3. Transceiver 2, that is Y, X, and B. The other 3 buttons. Why are they all on different ones? Because I wanted channel 4 to be camera inputs. So this is going to take whatever I get on channel 4 and send it to screen main. This one's going to send it to screen second. And then I have a ticker over here that has all the GPS stuff that feeds it to a formatter. And then feeds the position to a formatter, and then throws them to the 3rd screen. That's all done at 1 second intervals. And then there's a button smoke, and that sends on channel transceiver 2, 3. I have that always on both devices for button or for smoke. So if I come to my drone, see, transceiver 1 has all the stick data. 2 has the 3 flip-flop buttons for the top, middle, and left. And it receives on 3, and that can either be a button or on the joypad or a button on the console. And I changed all the flip-flops. All the flip-flopping happens on device. And this one turns on and off all the lights. Well, it sends a true or false to all the lights. There's the magnet, and here's smoke emitter. Then I have my 2 cameras, main and secondary, running to channel 4 on TR2 and TR3. And then, ooh, I didn't name the transceivers properly on this one. This is a horrible mess. All right, so transceiver 2, TR2, which is channel 24. It gets, actually that's TR1. TR1 gets the stick data for left and right Y, multiplies it by 5, and sends it to the drive motors like we saw before. The rover camera goes to channel 4. Channel 3 there on frequency 25, that turns on and off the smoke. Channel 1, that turns on and off the spotlights. And then on 26 is actually TR3. I need to rename those. I have a directional indicator and a light sensor. They send data to the formatter and sends it on channel 4. Then it gets channel 1 and 2, which are the left and right shoulder buttons, and it negates the number on this one and then runs it to target speed on this motor, and the same there. And channel 3, which is the A button on my joypad, does a flip-flop of a 0, 0 or 100% on this claw. So let's go make sure we're set up for rover. So if I press A, it closes the claw, and B opens the claw. And, whoop, I meant to move my character, or myself, not the drone. I have a directional indicator there. There's my GPS tag and a smoke emitter. I have my 2, here, L&R triggers. I wanted it L&R bumpers, but the nature of motors just leaned it itself better to do the 100% stuff. Well, it sounds like it's raining real good outside. Oh, we need a good rain. And then X turns on the smoke. Cool, huh? Then I am not real good at picking things up with this. But, well, one day I'll get better. Anyway, and I also made it so on the camera I can see, without having to turn to look at my heading, I can see my, my compass. So if I 0 turn this way, I know, no, that is north. And I'm a 0 heading. Wait a minute, why am I at that heading? Hold up. That should be 0, should be headed. Oh no, I am pointed. No, I'm pointed east. I should have a heading of 90 or so. Well, that's weird. Things north is minus 90? Okay. Of course, we have west and south, and alright. So I have the camera as a backup, and then I can spin around like so. In fact, if we were to expedite the time, now in the dark I'll be able to see turning it on and off. And I put a front there because at first I didn't have any distinguishable features on the rover itself, so I didn't know if that was the front or that was the front very easily at a quick glance, so I wrote front on it, so that way I can know which one's the, well, front. Alright, so let's hit F to get off of the thing there, and let's turn up our time of day. That should make our light sensor on the rover jump up. And now this is a board that just goes to frequency 23. It has 2 inputs and 2 outputs. I have two buttons, separate drone and separate rover. I have two screens, one's a camera, one's some data. That comes to this drop pod, which I have my separators there that we talked about before. Then I also have a camera that's running to channel 1, and all this data, my distance sensor and gyroscope are running to a formatter which goes to the transceiver to channel 2, and plus all the other stuff I did to make the doors close and whatnot. And here's my motor. It is just my motor. Oh no, I didn't even do that. I just gave it a target speed of 5. There's no sketch or anything controlling it. And yeah, this is wobbly because of the those. See, dampening. So we set the dampening up to maximum. Could be the stiffness of the spring. Will that make us stop wobbling? Or would... Or stiffness... Oh, wait a minute. Did I do the U for stiffness or dampening? I don't know, I did one of the two. Yeah, that took out a lot of the wobble. Alright, if not all of the wobble. And so I have this camera just slowly turning, and that's what shows on this screen. It's just a slow, steady, clockwise pan of the area. And so now if I were to turn off my lights and grab you, could snap you right onto the... That, in fact, that should still close. I haven't tested that, you know. I probably should have. We're gonna grab you. Oh, you need to be an R, don't you? Grab you and snap you there. So now I hit separate rover, it drops. Separate drone, and it drops. Oh no. Yeah, I want drone, so it'll drop, but its elevation isn't set to show dropping there. Awesome. And that way I will now have two vehicles, one for air exploration, one for ground exploration, with 1, 2, 3, 4 camera feeds. Cool, huh? And of course we can also make give secondary drop pods or drop other devices down. We could maybe drop a... Or we could just add them here, just add payloads of the for the drone. Don't know. That seems like an adventure for another day. But I just wanted to show off what I had got done this weekend. I've had a lot of fun playing with plasma and playing with all these drones and stuff. And I want to check more of these sensory things, like the gyroscope data. Oh yeah, this reads the gyroscope data. So it's pitch, yaw, and roll, which are now steady. I wonder how that's going to affect it dropping. Oh, well, it hit hit something and it seemed to do fine. All right. So then we'll be able to tell when everything's come to a halt, when the landing has actually finished, or if something bad happens. And we do know that we want to have a 0.4 height to ground. Well, of course, that's assuming we land on a flat surface. We might not land on a flat surface. We might land the way that it gets tilted. Huh. I hope all this information is going to be useful, and I don't have that one set up for the whole 200 view distance because reasons. And I forgot. Anyway, well, actually, having so many cameras go on at once, I didn't want to overload anything. So, in fact, we could probably grab you. Your view distance, you don't have to be 200. 100's probably going to be fine for you because you're primarily just going to be landing. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay. 100's plenty of views. Actually, if we drop it at a distance of 50, your view distance doesn't have to be 100. You'll probably get away with, hold on, is that rover upside down? It is upside down. Oh. It's acting like this because it is way too heavy. This claw is way too heavy for the drone. Or the rover. Come on. There we go. So, might have to ditch the claw. But that is going to be an adventure for another day. I have been JW608. This has been Plasma, and I think we have our drone and rover mostly done with our 2 control panels here, but we're gonna have to see if we can think of anything else. So, I will dig you cats later.